Hello. Hello, it is us.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
Hi. We are
Hello.
here.
In Russian Twitch, internet streams you.
No. Whoop.
Okay, so is sound a thing?
Sound is
that
great.
exists?
Sound is good. Unless
Watching
my
for
levels
the
are lying to
audience.
me, we good.
No, some audience person, tell us if you can hear us in the chat.
Who is this story engine deck in the chat? Do we have a special
Story
guest?
What's
Some
a
sort of
story engine deck?
famous gaming person is here.
Famous. Famous.
Trying to
so-
log into my personal Twitch right now, and it's making me go through authentication.
Oh no.
Well, I guess you're not that famous.
It's okay, you can be story engine. We know it's
Okay.
you.
story engine around here.
Hey.
All right, folks, I'll do the streaming introduction that I always say with the words. Hello, internet friends and webcomic fans. It is I, your friendly neighborhood dungeon biologist, welcoming you to another episode of Trash Heroes, the D&D stream where we recount the epic adventures of a wildly improbable collection of horrible creatures known as the Trash Heroes. Our players, as always, are this collection of talented internet cartoonists, artists, various makers of things. Please check out all of their work that you can see in the upper right-hand side of the thing, or in the About section below, which will also be the case if you're watching this later on YouTube. Please do click on various links and support your local artist. People cannot eat streaming. I don't know where I'm going with that.
It's true though.
But yeah, without further ado, first up, let's introduce the characters, starting with the Keeper of the Vermin, the Protector of the Trash Heap, Fetid Quaggle.
That's me. Hi.
And next up is the larger-than-life pit-fighting superstar that is Oogna Sugar Tusks.
Bone crushing time.
Next is our trickster cleric, rogue baker, and all-around party animal, Tromlin Darioles.
Technically, I'm currently not a specific trickster, but a trickster cleric to law.
Specific trickster cleric. And then there is the wild magic streaming sensation, Morgan V. Sater.
Oh, like, follow, share, dedicate your lives to me.
And finally, our sweet old grandpa, who also happens to accidentally be an ancient warlock, Copernicus Sunshine.
Creepy catchphrase. Also, I apologize. I have not. I was streaming for 3 hours before this with a 5-minute break, so I'm just gonna straight up be eating like a sloppy spaghetti on camera. That's gotta be at least one person's fetish, so I figure I'm doing it.
This is
Yeah, free
official-
mukbang for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah. D&D mukbang. I don't know.
Mm.
Is,
I mean, I'd watch
is
it.
mukbang interesting in D&D?
There's
I
a
would
really, really
fully
great
watch
comic-
people eat.
Cartoonist mukbang would be so depressing.
Oh no.
Got my ramen. Got my energy drink.
Here's
Let's
a
party.
Here's a cold Pop-Tart.
It's not exactly mukbang, but there's a really great comic and new anime soon called Delicious Dungeon that is about.
Oh yeah, I
I'm
started
very
reading
excited
that
for that.
It's so good. It's great. I
very
can't wait to
good.
see the anime.
I hope the food is as pretty as in Food Wars, because Food Wars is too horny to watch.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I will recap, even though I did this exact recap previously, but because of Twitch's bed shitting, we which is also somebody's fetish, of course. But
no.
we're gonna move on to do it again. So when we last actually got to play, Fetid had gone into the sewers to check in with his Quaggle buddies, and they told him about the recent incursions of barbarian worshippers of Nihil. That's N, small I, big H, small I, big L, right? But not NHL. The I's are important. Which drove Quaggles of the Wastelands into the city, swelling the numbers in Ravenfall. They also told him that the King and Lady Nightshade seemed to be doing nothing about it. A little rodentkin polycule of Ratmole and Badger told him about the fall of the town of Stormhill, and how their friend Toad has joined the cult of the Raven. The townsfolk and Quaggles of Stormhill have all either fled to Ravenfall or south to Mud Hollow. Fetid therefore sent an animal messenger to his friends in Mud Hollow to let them know what's going on, and came back to report to the party. The rest of the group had left Morgan to catch up with her cult allies, and then so Morgan wasn't present for this game for various reasons, and went back to meet up with Fetid and go to the Citadel to deliver Copernicus's gift to Nightshade. But when they got to the Citadel, they got to meet with Nightshade and deliver the gift and their dark warnings about the rise of the Necrogog. But they were surprised to discover that she was already aware but unable to act, and she seems to be under some sort of curse. They noted a mark over her heart of frost or frostbite in the shape of a hand, and Perny could sense the magic being used against her. She dismissed the party after leaving a gift for Copernicus, which is his big rod of the Pack Keeper. Tromlin chatted up a servant and learned a number of other things, basically about various issues in the city being ignored by the lady, particularly the Raven cultists gaining power, the Ice Barbarian raids, and Tromlin's family, learning that two of his siblings are in town. The group went back to the safe house / sex dungeon to make plans, found one of Tromlin's spider babies, who has been hiding in Oogna's backpack for like months in player time. And the group made a bunch of plans to try and figure out what's going on with the Raven cult in the city by checking with their various contacts. You were also talking about setting up a trap using a find object spell. And Tromlin also snuck out while Copernicus was distracted with his grandbaby, and went to check out the family manor of the Boltrees. Noted a Thieves Guild spy plus 2 assassins waiting for him, who he ambushed, killing one and leaving the other to think that he had killed his friend. Because Tromlin
totally
don't play
normal
around.
and totally normal thing to do, you know.
As one does. The next morning, everyone split up to talk to their contacts, and that is where we left off. Fetid and Oogna were going to the fighting pits. Copernicus and Tromlin went to the Thieves Guild at the Wyvern's Eye Tavern, which is where they learned that the guild members seemed to be quite afraid of the Raven cult. And an elemental was able to secretly agree to meet with Tromlin later at a dive bar known as the Skinned Rat. That guy's name was Eurus Gale, an air elemental thief. And that is it. So we were going to start by skipping back to Morgan.
It's a me.
Indeed, because Morgan had been busy with catching up with members of the cult, but did come back and meet with the others long enough to kind of get an idea of what's going on, that the plans here are to try and gather information about the Raven cult from your contacts. So while Fetid and Oogna are going to the fighting pits, and Copernicus and Tromlin are off talking to the Thieves Guild, Raven, Morgan can basically, at any time, since you're at the safe house, chat up some of your cult members about this Raven cult, which of course you've heard of in the past. They've always been present in Ravenfall, kind of at the level of like a religion. There are a lot of locals who basically worship the Raven Queen, who is a powerful fae, archfey / god-like entity. And they bear the sign of the Raven, and that's pretty common among the townsfolk here. But in terms of the power of this religious organization, at a higher level, that comes and goes. But in recent time, and you would know this because you've been living in the city recently, the cult has been getting kind of been on the upswing. And this usually has to do with its fractionation, right? Like in the past, there's been a number of rival little sects within the cult, and the result is there's no sort of consolidated power. Lately, there seems to be one Raven cult structure. Although you don't know a lot about it, you do know from the party members that you heard in, I think, one of our previous games, we're discussing a sorcerer named Eliphas Darkmoor, who they have mentioned has a red-eyed raven familiar who was spotted observing the group when you guys first arrived. So with that, you can go out into the actual brothel / cult hangout on the other side of the safe house wall and do some inquiry if you so wish. Oh, sorry.
Hell yeah, I love me some hot goss. I was just dragging out my dice here. I guess for like the most important thing for that I'm thinking is that we have to know what their values are. What are they valuing to get an idea of their motivation and how we can steer clear, steer safe, you know. So yeah, let's see who's around. Deeper into this sex dungeon.
So Lady Pudenza is there. She will be very interested in talking to you about this plan for you were planning to throw some kind of big social event to promo the big upcoming fight. Because of course that promo event is going to have to happen like tonight, because the fight will be the day after, right? Since now you're into the second day since you got here.
Yeah, so definitely going to be asking, like, do we have everything that we need? If not, what can we do? But also, like, I do have worries about the Raven cult interfering in our business. So we need to know who they are.
So what do you want to know specifically? So you mentioned motivations. You would know already that sort of in general, actually you would be particularly well suited to know that in general there is an ongoing sort of greater conflict within the Fae, right? There are the Seelie and the Unseelie within the Fae. There's sort of the autumn, winter, and the spring, summer kind of aspects of Faedom. And the Raven Queen is very much of the fall, winter kind of area, the Unseelie, which incidentally is also the affiliation that the Countess Nightshade is said to have with the Fae. Although that's all rumors, because, you know, no one's about to walk up to her and say, hey, are you actually an Archfey or something? What court are you with?
Dude,
You know,
it's
for
so
fear of being
rude
squashed.
to ask people why they're an Archfey. I mean, it's just not done.
So you know in general that, you know, those who sort of follow the religion, joining the cult of the Raven Queen, would be seeking things more akin to the Unseelie side in the general war or conflict of the Seelie versus Unseelie. That said, most average people who are, you know, choose a god in this kind of a pantheistic setting aren't super like, I definitely have to go out and do my divine lord's specific bidding. You go about your life and you kind of go, hey, insert god here, I'd like some luck today, you know, and just happens to be the Raven Queen. Just because people can't see Randy right now, I'm just going to point out that he is not dying. He's just got a cough. Because they can't actually see you cough, they just hear horrible noises.
I'm only dying in my soul.
That's right. And that's been going on
That's-
for decades.
that's not-
Years.
Yeah.
Well, not his own. He's got a few.
Yeah,
other
he has to
people's.
keep getting new ones. That's how the webcomic keeps going. That's what I've heard. That's for all long-running webcomics, right? You just
I mean,
consume the soul of a younger artist every once in a while.
SP's been doing 22 years,
Oh.
and I'm on a comic that's almost 100 years old as well. So, I'm really on a pretty high soul diet.
It's hard on the heart, you know. You gotta mix some veggies in there once in a while.
Yep. And
Well,
virgin's
that
blood.
or, necromancy, put your heart in like a box,
Oh yeah.
hide it somewhere.
You're just
then
you're
you
just a
pour
lich.
some
Yeah.
Just pour some V8 in that box every once in a while.
It's
That's
fine.
your veggie.
I was gonna say like, you could put it in like a nice brine, give it a nice rinse out once in a while.
A little massage,
Pickled,
tenderize it some.
pickled lich.
Some
For real though, what is
cloves.
your comics phylactery?
Actually, that'd be a really fun meme to do.
That would be.
What's your comics phylactery.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Those
Got
fucking nerds.
I think we have to do that now. I think
He
that's
says
something
as we
we
play
need to
D&D.
do. I think
Excellent.
that's our gift for next stream.
I mean,
Mine's
I
an-
think that's right.
Empty brush tell cartridge.
Speaking of gifts to the stream, I'd like to just jump into the poll pretty quick here. So I
Fancy.
get the players to step away from the chat,
The chat.
and I will get my shadow DM to post the first poll. I have two polls that we might do both of today. We'll see, but one for sure. Mick Pedro is Randy's phylactery.
Pedro?
Mick Pedro from Danielle's comic.
Yeah, but why would he be my phylactery?
Because you're clever enough to hide it in another comic, is what the
Ooh.
Oh, I have
what the
used
comment
him so
says.
many times in the background. Yeah, I guess
That's right.
that makes sense.
Okay,
I
the
am
poll.
kind of a reference comic, aren't I? Like, hey, who can I reference today?
Every other comic that's appeared in Randy's comic is because he's been stealing energy from them.
Excellent.
And it sucks. Like, I'm not allowed to do it in Popeye. Otherwise, I'd be stealing everyone's energy.
Okay, the poll is running. As always, audience, the poll will run for 10 minutes. You can vote as many times as you like using channel points. So please do vote for the option that you want to see most represented.
As a Polish
I'm
person, whenever you're
excited to
announcing,
see where this goes.
whenever you're announcing the poll, I'm always imagining a scenario where you're describing me. And in this case, the poll is running. The poll will run for 10 minutes. Audience makes me feel like I'm in like a weird
Hamster
spectator
wheel?
arena.
Yeah.
Like I'm being hunted, and for 10 minutes I have to survive in like an enclosed gladiatorial maze or something.
Excellent.
In bidding,
Peter in The Running Man.
Good.
in bidding that the poll choices are kind to my dear Morgan, I offer up being able to see my little Caterpie
Aww.
figure. See,
Good.
this is what you'd be being mean to if you were mean to Morgan.
Don't be mean to
Little
Morgan.
Caterpie.
Morgan.
Hey, you're
Yeah.
gonna
We
find
love a
someone in the
Caterpie.
audience who that's their kink.
Morgan
No!
B. Sculptor.
Be nice. Be nice to little Caterpie and Morgan. It's my favorite thing.
As always, I'm going to burn off a few of my channel points voting for everything. Because I always build so many channel points running this game, and I'm like,
Yeah,
what do I do
because
with
you gotta
these?
watch the chat.
Also,
I
I'll
have
spend a few
unlimited.
I will spend a bunch to open up a bunch of to unlock all the emotes.
I love that.
Okay.
Jeff is doing like the sitting on a porch with a toothpick, but it's a guitar pick.
Yep.
And I
Good.
just love that as like a vibe of like the guy just like super cool, got the pick in his mouth.
They just end up in my mouth. I'm not even aware of it. There's
I
just
do
always
the
a
same
couple
thing.
laying around.
I do the same thing. Like, it's
Yeah.
like songwriting, right? Like that's just the,
Uh-huh.
the place that it goes. So that you're
It is.
That's why I have so many tobacco pipes. I don't even smoke them. I just chew on them when I'm drawing. Because otherwise,
Teachers
I
actually do the same
I
thing.
used to chew on, when I drew pen and paper, I chew on my pen. That always ended bad.
Yeah.
Also, you can like sit on your porch while you're chewing on the pipe and rock in a rocking chair and like stroke a shotgun or something.
I don't need to
I
chew my
You
pencils.
look like the kind of man you would see out in the woods,
Yes.
sitting on with like a possum on my knee.
Yeah, where's your possum? That's
Yeah.
not being in the woods is not an excuse. Let's see the possum.
Yeah,
Add it to your
Just
roster.
scratching it like it's a cat, and people are like, I don't want to say anything.
Don't y'all look my possum. You don't like it.
I saw Randy out in the woods the other day. He was stroking his shotgun, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
It did go off. There was.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It did go off.
Someone just voted a whole ton for one option. They really,
Heck.
really want it to happen.
Hair
All right.
trigger.
All right.
Well,
I don't need to chew my pens. They come pre-chewed because I have birds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, there's a lot of people chewing
Everything.
their pens.
Everything's already
Oh no,
chewed.
we have a tight battle now for two innings. Let's see how it goes. Fight, fight, fight. Right. So, Morgan, I was giving you some general information about the cults.
Yeah.
And you know that there have always been rumors that the cult is controlled by Nightshade, but you don't know to what degree you believe it, because also it's risen and fallen with its power, but Nightshade is always there, so it doesn't really make any sense. It's more likely that Nightshade doesn't care. Not all Unseelie are going to be like buddy with each other.
They don't
And
all know
Nightshade
each
clearly
other.
has her own thing going on.
Yeah. It'd have to be
Um,
like a pretty separate board. Like
Yeah.
a very separate board member for all the changes to be that tied. Which, yeah. I mean, maybe she's just an icon of theirs, you know? Someone they appreciate in the public eye.
Or could be rivals too, frankly,
Mhm.
because she clearly has the power in the city. And the obvious possible motivation for the cult gaining, sort of consolidating, is to gain power.
Yeah.
So when you go up to talk to Lady Pudenza, she wants to talk about the nobles in the city and who to invite to the big event tonight.
Shit. I have not had time to compile the possible enemies list.
That's fine. It's mostly Tromlin's family.
I'm just imagining it's like a to-do list, but do is crossed out and says assassinate.
To die list.
You do have your sending stone to text with Perny if you have any questions
Yeah.
during the process.
And I'll text Perny. Am I pitching to these royal family or noble families, whatever, alone? That way we're not dealing with all y'all's enemies. And that's definitely misspelled purposely. And enemies?
Okay.
Anemones.
Yeah.
Anemones.
Well, we do have so many enemies, but I think it's mostly safe if you pitch without us. But my worry would be if they come to the show and they come to the fight and they end up seeing Cromlin, or it just seems a little bit dangerous. But it might be even more conspicuous if we don't invite them. So maybe keep them out of the private stuff, invite them to the public stuff, and we can figure out where the Royals box is. Maybe we just sit on the opposite side of that. I'm also mildly concerned that Tromlin will try to assassinate them during the event. He seems to be on a bit of a
Non-zero chance.
vengeful streak, so we just, whatever we do, we want to be we want to be careful, and I would not want the invitation that brought them to their deaths to be traced back to you. In fact, maybe the fact that you're inviting them will stop him from doing it, because I know he would not wish bringing the harm that hangs over his head to you. He's a good egg. He's a good egg. He just got mixed up with some bad people. Me, mostly.
You guys are the bad people.
It's true. It's us. We're the problem.
Okay. I don't have to share with y'all's where and when things are, anyways.
I
So
will
I will
remind
do-
you, though, Copernicus particularly, this isn't just about inviting people to the fight. This is about the big publicity event, the party, high society party, the night
Yeah.
before the fight.
I.e.
I
tonight.
think probably it's best not to, if you can do so graciously, to avoid inviting the Boltries, in particular. But if doing so would draw more attention, then we'll just roll the dice and see what happens. But we know the Boltries
Okay.
have all of our descriptions, including yours, in the hands of the Assassin's Guild. So you've already been made, and
Yeah.
we should just proceed with as much caution as possible.
Okay. Cutie. So things are pretty complicated, girl. So.
Well, first of all,
I-
should we discuss who is in the city, who we might invite to this party?
I think like the regular like high society roster will be good. So there is one issue where there is a family that has tried to kill me recently.
Oh my goodness, how exciting! You will share all of the details, of course.
Yeah, they like had a lot more information about my whereabouts and my friends' whereabouts than I'm happy with. And that has been really concerning. And I'm gonna be rolling a my words are escaping me. Intuition. Um
What are you looking to do?
uh to see if like she knows about this already or if she feels any guilt about this or could be hiding that she might have been tipping people off.
For sure. I will need to know exactly what you're telling her because you haven't even said what family this is.
Oh, just what I've said is what I'm going off of based like how what are her feelings in regards to me saying that people have known too much about my whereabouts and tried to kill me.
Sure, go ahead.
Is there an appropriate amount of shock, etc.? That is a bad roll, so I'm gonna re-roll it. That
You're
was
just-
a 5.
What are you using to re-roll? You have multiple options here, right?
Yeah.
Your luck.
Are you gonna take a wild magic surge, or are you spending one of your inspirations? You've got full 3 inspirations, so you
Yeah.
could. Oh, the poll has ended. Oh my goodness, that is quite the set of votes.
I will. What was the one that I have 3 of? My cheat
The
ass?
inspiration. You have a full 3 inspirations, so you can just spend one
Yeah.
of those for a real if you want.
I will roll that. I also
Okay.
am recalling that I have empathetic, which
Ooh.
lets me.
That's
Um,
one of the. So that first of all is why you have such a high intuition
Okay. It's not a
or
separate
insight.
thing that I have to
Insight.
do. Okay.
No, but it also gives you the ability to. Oh, that's for. Yeah, you can use it for sort of an extreme sense motive, gaining information. But in this case, you're just looking kind of generally.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I will.
So go ahead and do your
Mark
reroll.
the inspiration.
And Alina will mark your inspiration as spent. Already done. I'll remind the chat, by the way, this is a good time to
Oh my
remind
God.
everybody. Uh-oh.
D20? Nat 20?
One.
Oh no.
Oh no.
No.
What was the better roll?
5?
It was a 5.
So you have a plus
Um,
9, so that still becomes a 14.
I'm gonna Fey touch wild magic this shit because if the people that are housing us are fucking us over, that's what I'm.
That's bad.
Okay, so you're using your wild magic luck. I will roll on the wild magic table.
Yeah.
Just keep in mind that in a social situation, about half of the wild magic table is going to involve like casting a combat spell on somebody.
Great.
I rolled
It's
a
good.
10.
So that becomes a 19. That's much better.
Yeah. And she's a formidable opponent psychologically.
Yeah, let's hope. So let's hope that you don't like drop a fireball on her by accident.
Oops.
Okay, I have rolled.
Come on, being a big lady. Come on, being a big lady again.
Are we safe to go in the chat?
Yes, the
Okay.
poll is over.
I am going to get that back again.
Okay, so you ended up with a 19 total. That beats her deception roll,
Okay.
especially because she wasn't really trying to be deceptive.
Yeah.
It's very clear that her interest is her response is, ooh, hot gossip, and she wants to know all the juicy details.
Yeah.
She's very surprised that someone's trying to kill you, and she wants to know. It hasn't probably occurred to her yet that this could be related to your membership in the cult of blood sugar sex magic. Because if that's the case, obviously it would mean bad things for her as well. But she hasn't necessarily caught on to that yet. However, as you are very, very intent on getting this information, 3 large white terrestrial jellyfish type creatures
Oh, thank God.
appear out of nowhere.
Well,
These are flumps.
I don't know what a flump is, but I'm really glad it's not a fireball.
Alina, would you like to find a picture of a flump?
I will see if I can do that.
Everybody loves flumps.
Love a flump.
There are a lot of drawings of flumps. They're mostly kind of brown, the ones that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
But they basically look like big, flat, terrestrial jellyfish with eye stalks.
I'm gonna try
They
something
appear out of
wild.
nowhere and are absolutely terrified of you. They look around like they don't know how the hell they got there, and they shriek
That's fair.
and attempt to flee from you, which means that they go careening off through the sex dungeon. And there are yelps and screams generally from the clientele who did not expect this. Maybe some like oh from some of the clientele who are like, oh, a tentacle monster. This must be a new service that I'm unaware of.
Ooh.
Which leads to shrieks of dismay from the flumps who are
Hang on.
suddenly being on
yeah.
to and are like, I mean, come on to, not.
No.
Well,
Right
Nobody-
now, fast and moving.
That would be a little
the line of
fast.
Fire.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I can't bring up a picture because of the new thing, but here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna try something out. I'm gonna live draw a flump.
Yay!
For y'all. Let's just draw a flump.
Hooray. So there's some pandemonium for a few moments here, as the flumps are dealt with and shooed out of the building. One of them,
Sweat
has some kind of
white?
one of them gets all entangled. What's that? Sorry?
Not to call you out, but sweat white as a tool? Questionable.
Sweat white? I don't follow you. Oh, it's the drawing. I see.
Yeah.
I wasn't on the stream, so I didn't realize the live drawing was occurring.
Oh
On
my
screen.
goodness.
He's a little guy.
I thought this
He just a
I
little
thought this-
guy.
was occurring on like a paper that you were going to hold up. This is much better.
Nope. I was trying to figure out how to deal with the I can't pull up reference images anymore without working our stream, and I was like, hell, I've got clip. Let's just clip this.
Nice. That's
He's just a
so
little
cute.
guy.
So one of them
Poor
gets
little guy.
entangled in some sort of minor orgy that had broken out. And by the time it gets shooed away, there's a few of the clients who are like, hey,
I pay extra.
call me. But Pudenza and the other staff managed to get everything sorted out. They either get rid of the flumps or, charge somebody for one of them. I don't know, something.
Oh my my god, this is so embarrassing. This always happens when I get nervous. I'm so sorry.
Oops, I was so nervous I flumped.
Hey, it happens to a lot of people. This happens to a lot of sorcerers. So yeah, in the wake of all that, Lady Direlust eventually gets back to you and says, "Okay, so where were we?
Oh yeah, people.
We were we were making plans about the party.
Yes.
We're talking about the noble houses.
Yeah, so we do want there to be like an event where we can talk to all of the noble houses and the higher ups, and sales pitch, blah blah blah.
Let us talk
see what
about
else.
let us talk about an invitation list.
Mhm.
We should have inviting some of the more important people that are here in the city. We will send invitation, of course, to her ladyship, the countess, but she will not come. That is, but we must send, of course, we must send it. But we will also send to her consort, and his family, the Lengarians. In addition to the Baron, he has a cousin in the city now, whose name is Phoenix.
Okay.
Phoenix Lengarian. It is said that the Baron Scully from Alder Cove is going to come to the city, so we must make invitation to Baron Scully and his family. There are some of the Boltries in the city. The Lord Dracos is not here because of his city. His castle is under siege, but two of his niece and nephew are in the city. So the Lady Lobelia and Lord Lothric. Then there are the Great Towers are in town. Two of the Great Towers, Lord Zook and Lady Zaya Great Tower, are in the city.
Okay.
They have been dwelling here for a number of months now. They have set up some sort of business in the city. There are the Blackmonts, of course, have always been in the city. Lady Kirwin and Lord Kidrick. We should definitely invite them. The Malgains from the Wildwoods have relocated to the city recently. And there are a number of Malgains. They are a lesser house, but there are quite a few of them. They are quite important. We should invite them. And then there is a rumor that two of the Tyrathians of Evermere are going to be in the city later today. That is said that the famous Captain Darius Sunshine and his amazing ship is coming to the city from Port Evermere, and two of the Tyrathians, the cousins of the Baron, are coming to the city to see the fight. So we must invite them, and probably we should invite the captain as well. He is one of the Sea Lords of the Evermere. And then there are many of the guild masters and powerful merchants in the city we should invite. There is a traveling Felician merchant in the city right now. Sir Godfrey Tusk. He is an important merchant. There is a powerful merchant named Eliphas Darkmoor who we should invite. And a few other merchants, I think. Lane is checking his notes for some specific names. Where are we here? Yes, there is a merchant named Cyril Sneer who we should invite.
Okay.
It's a rodentkin merchant.
Oh, of course he is.
He has been in the city a very long time. He is very important. And then I think also some of the guild masters, the merchants guild masters. There are several of them. We should invite all of them. They have a council. And then generally heads of the other important guilds, the Weavers Guilds, Brewers Guild. Some of these people should be invited.
Yeah,
So that would be my recommendations.
that sounds really good. The only issue is the recent attempt on my life.
Oh yes, you were going to tell me all the juicy details. I must know.
I'm okay. My friends are okay.
Yes, of
We
course. I
cannot
wanted to know, but
confirm exactly who it is, but I'm pretty sure it was the bolt trees. So
how
there
scandalous!
is a safety issue in regards to the events that we're gonna hold and who can be in attendance.
Do you mean that the lady Lobelia and Lord Lothric would attack you? Is this a matter of honor, or is this some sort of?
I really think that I was like very secondary, like just being present might have been this, but it's literally like no one's talked to me about having any issues, so I don't know. Like, you know how dramatic some of these families can be? Like, if you have an issue, just bring it to me. Send a fucking crow. Like, be like, hey, bitch, I didn't like the way you talked about my dress on Saturday. We can chat that out. We can, like, come to a consensus over, like, like how things went down and how things could be going better. But some people are just like, oh no, straight up assassination. So, anyways, like, I'm dealing with it. My friends are dealing with it the best we can. We understand that like this is a big thing, and we're not trying to like stop people.
But darling, this there is no. None of these families are going to do anything to lose face in front of all the others. If the most likely thing, if there is that a level of animosity, would be a formal challenge of a duel, which would not happen at the gala.
But
to say nothing of if I have seen your friends. I cannot imagine the Lord Lothric would challenge one of them to a duel. Have you seen Lord Lothric? He is a short, fat man. I do not think he is likely to stick a pointy weapon into another one of your friends. You have very large
of
friends.
course, like, but like, yeah, but
and
that doesn't
small
mean
friends,
that
but your small
more-
friends are still well armed.
But like, that doesn't mean like more assassins or like things that would
But-
inconvenience our good time.
But no one is going
happen.
to bring assassins to a gala.
That's what they always say.
It's like, how would they? There is nothing
Poison's
to do.
more
To
traditional.
do such a thing would create so much.
No one brings an assassin to a parade
And
in Dallas.
nobody's fucking behind the curtains, right?
Well,
like,
that
we
is
know-
definitely not true. That is not what I'm saying. I am
But, like, we know
saying
things
that
happen
if
at
they
these
will,
events
they
that
will
are
try to
technically not
kill you
sanctioned.
somewhere else. Having them there is the most likely way to make it so that they will not have assassins. And besides, if you don't invite them, then you are simply making it clear to everyone else that there is a problem.
Yeah, that's why I'm not saying like don't invite them, but like maybe we can have them be very distracted, and then they
Well,
of their own
that, of course,
volition.
we
Then
can
of their own
definitely try to
volition,
arrange
they're
this.
like, "Oh, well, we'd love to talk more, but we have to go and find these 5 ladies that are really, really hot."
Do you think it would be useful to make them a target of, and she'll switch to talking with her hands and winks and emojis,
hmm
i.e. she's going to start using your slut can't to speak in the secret mode of the cult, and she basically says, should we sick our cult members on them, i.e. should we get them seduced? This might be a good way to set up a loss of face, or just a distraction, or whatever. This is how the cult operates, right?
Yeah.
By the cult, I am currently talking about your cult, not the Raven cult. I'm talking about Raven's cult, not the Raven cult.
Yeah.
Just to confuse the audience.
Yeah. Yeah, and in Slut Kind, I'll reply, yeah, I think that's probably for the best. Having them be made to be pretty busy, I don't think, based on the things I've heard about that family, will be very difficult. And would mean that we can run an event a lot smoother.
She's like furiously making notes with a big black quill. Is there, and there is no difficulty with anyone else? You said something about families. It was just the Boltries that you were thinking of?
I assume it's just the vultures. I will be handling my group. They're like a little messier than other people.
Yes, you said we would want to clean them and dress them nicely.
Oh, that for
We can do
sure.
this.
I also am just like planning on. Well, I'm probably gonna be very busy doing this, just like making sure that they're where they need to be and are in less position to have contentious interactions with people, so that we can get what we need to get done.
Yes, of course.
So that's where most of my energy is gonna be. Unfortunately, I plan on you taking like a more significant portion of the cut that I'd be receiving as part of payment for running this event and profits, because I know that you're going to be a lot busier and that I'm going to need to rely on you more.
Very good. And what you said, you had some other questions for me?
I just wanted to know a little bit more about like the way that the Raven cult has been conducting themselves, if they've been trying to recruit any of our members, or if we have any overlapping members.
I would be very surprised if we do not.
Yeah.
At least in terms of the congregation. Our well, I shouldn't say that. It is possible. I do not know of any. There have been attempts for certain from their from people of importance in the sect of the Raven to woo myself and other important members of the blood sugar sex magic.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume it is only because they are infiltrating any group they can. They wish to have more power.
I mean, that's so boring. Like, what a motivation.
But they are so opposed to our way of thinking. There is very little among the our group, our sect, who have inclinations to the unseelie. as you know, our principles are much more in line with the Seelie, and it is certainly the Seelie Fae that we have in the past had dealings with. He does a wink, wink.
Yeah.
Um, so I do not think that it is likely there are many of even our initiates who it is possible that there might be some initiates of the blood sugar sex magic might be a worshiper of the Raven Queen, but they would not be very devout, or they would not come to us. But that is, they've, to my knowledge, they have not been able to infiltrate our ranks.
Yeah, I worry too that they're like, I'm all about influencing folks to have a good time, but I definitely don't want to influence. Like, influence is more about for me at least, exposing what people are desiring and capable of. And I worry about them utilizing magic to influence people outside of those realms in ways that hurt them, ways that they would not move. And I'm kind of looking for ways to undo those magical influences as well. If you have any spell or arcane access in that matter.
I certainly know the magic to dispel magical effects. Many practitioners do. The difficulty is finding the effect to work the magic upon. You can always dispel a magical effect, but when to do so? It is very clear to me over the last year or so that the Raven cult growing in power has led to them gaining members of probably among the nobility. As I would be very surprised, for example, if some of the nobility we have been discussing, the locals at least, such as the Great Towers, or probably not the Langarians, as Baron Gregory is so close to the Countess, but maybe the Boltries, the Blackmonts, they are all local. Even the Malgames have had local for some time. Any of them could have been, obviously, if a group wishes to gain power or money or influence, finding the wealthy ones to recruit to your cause is the way to get this. There was a cult in the South that did this very successfully. They were called something like psionictologists, I think.
No.
You didn't.
Go to jail.
Sciontologists. I think
Yeah,
that's what it
yeah,
was.
good.
Wait, and the yeah, okay. Who's
Oh no, we're gonna get this. We're gonna shut down. Sorry, I didn't mean it.
We just immediately go off air.
who is fantasy Tom Cruise? I know that they're from the South, which is where we have like Santa
Oh, there's gonna be
like Thomas de la Cruz.
Yeah, Thomas
Yes.
de la Cruz. He's a
With the way he jumps
he's
on
a tomcat.
couches.
Yeah,
Yeah, with
He's
the way
a-
he jumps on couches, obviously
incredible
a monk,
athletic
you know.
skill.
Yeah.
Yes, clearly a tabaxi.
Mhm.
Yes, we got there.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of a fantasy Robert Heinlein. Where to go there, but anyway.
Yeah.
Also, I am familiar with some worshippers who have been members of the church or the sect for some time, among the Merchants Guild, certainly. Whether they are, in on the workings of the inner circles of the cult, I do not know. Darkmoor, who I mentioned, it's a wealthy merchant, has openly has the religious symbol for this the sect of the Raven.
Yo, did we tell Morgan about Darkmoor? I don't think we
No.
did.
No, you did not.
Oh no. Okay. This will be fun.
She also says that she knows that the head of the guildmaster of the Brewers Guild has been a sort of a staunch member for as long as she can remember. He's also openly wears the religious trappings of the Raven Queen.
So like, would you be able to help dispel someone's magical influence over another person? And I'm like side-eyeing my own reflection as I ask, and whether or not this is an okay thing to share. With my...
Sometimes your reflection does this.
Yeah, thanks.
Very
Yeah.
She says it is difficult to know if there is a specific spell that is happening, or ability, a power, like a spell, like if a fey creature that of the sea makes the song that influences you, or if someone casts a spell, that is something you can dispel. But there are many ways to influence another. The most effective, of course, is with the belief, the dogma. If you have someone who believes in the things that the sect of the Raven teaches, they will be a staunch member, even without any magic necessarily. So it depends. If a potion is used, or a spell, or something of that nature, and you have someone you wish to have that dispelled upon, I could cast a spell, or anyone else who has the ability for dispel magic.
If someone was like cursed to silence about something, or cursed to not engage in a matter, would a circle of non-magic work against something like that? If only within that circle?
That depends a great deal on the curse. It is possible to lift a curse temporarily in that way. But there is a spell for that also. There is a spell for removing of curses.
Yeah, that's not my field, so I don't.
Is there some curse in particular that you are aware of? You were speaking of?
I don't know if it's a curse, but I did witness or heard tell of someone being under influence, and I worry about it, as you would with anybody. So I don't know how to go about doing that sort of thing.
So I think at this point, I'm going to cut to another group. Since you're all separated here, I don't want to keep everybody
We split
waiting
the party.
too long. So I'm going to cut to Fetid and Oogna.
Okay.
All right.
We're heading to the fighting pits.
All right.
So, as you know, in the center, or not the center of Ravenfall, because that's where the Citadel is, but in the important parts of Ravenfall, where all of the major guild halls and things are, there is, of course, a fighting pit known as the Eyrie, which is a big stadium with high raised walls, and on one side, the back to the city wall itself, that are all high bleachers, because in the center of the sandy fighting area, there are huge tall poles with all of these platforms and rope ladders and various trapezes and jumping platforms for an aerial fighting pit. Built probably originally by the Raven folk that were the original settlers of these areas. And of course, attached to this big ringed wall is a number of outbuildings, a tavern and barracks and so forth, where local fighters train to fight in the pits. And this is where the local champion Basilisk lives. Basilisk, to remind you all, is a incredibly agile, small tiefling woman who is incredibly fast and agile and has become the champion of the Eyrie.
Oogna keeps like messing with her hair and like straightening her collar, polishing her armor, and then getting Fetid to be like, "Does that look good? I look good, right?"
I'm picturing Fetid like doing the thing that like a mom does, where you lick the finger and like smudge, but it's to
Just
apply
making things worse.
Yes. Yeah.
instead of
Good.
remove.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. Thanks for helping. That's great. Yeah. Anyway,
Adding smudges.
good, right? All right. Be cool. We'll be cool. We'll be very cool. This will be great. I'll be great.
I'm just
very
like
calm.
totally oblivious to this. Like I can tell Oogna's being weird, but I don't really know why. I'm just like, well, you know.
I'm in the wrong location.
You're like, this is a man
there
thing.
being an anti-wingman
Yeah.
this whole
Yeah.
time.
Must be a mammal thing.
So I'll head up to the entrance of the pit. I know there's usually somebody hanging around who knows where the fighters are, practicing at that point, and just try and catch their eye. Be like, hey.
Yeah, there's a group of local dwarves who are pit fighter trainers.
Yep.
Who you'll catch some eyes. Some eyebrows will go up as people recognize you. Make me insight checks, both of you, which you are
Ooh.
absolutely great at.
We're the
Yeah.
best at this.
Naturally.
This is
Oh.
the best.
Creature.
I rolled a big 7.
Oh, wow. I actually did quite well. That's a 19.
Oh,
plus
nice.
Whatever my thing.
Plus
You're-
4. You have a plus
you're-
4.
Wow.
So that would be a 23 then.
You're trying
You don't
really
have
hard to
the
figure out what's
0.
going on with these mammals. You're like, I don't know, they're fucking weird today.
Something's weird.
So Oogna doesn't catch this at all, totally oblivious. But Fetid, you notice that the dwarves kind of exchange glances that sort of read to like, what the hell is she doing here? To you, like this
Good.
is a bad idea, like, or that they think that there's some reason why this wouldn't be something they would expect to happen.
Okay, interesting. All right. I'm gonna consider trying to point that out to Oogna, but she's clearly preoccupied, so I'm just gonna take note of it and move on.
Cool. I'm already like, oh hey guys, how's it going? You know, just trying to keep it cool. I'm like wearing sunglasses, and that's my only disguise. And I'm like,
Being very normal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is Basilisk around today?
They look at each other again. Similar thing, Fetid, and one of them will say, "Yeah, she's in the back, getting some stretching and relaxing in before your match tomorrow."
Can I see her? Can I go talk to her? I mean, like
Sure.
unofficial, like obviously, like we're just gonna hang out like pals. We're just pals.
They look at each other again, and they're like, one of them shrugs at the other, and I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not in charge. Whatever.
Cool. Good. Yes.
You could ask the pitmaster, but he's not here.
Ah, Pitmaster's not around day before a big fight. Must be something important.
Well, they've got a whole team of them in there checking all the gear. There's a whole new protocol for looking for mimics now.
Yeah, that's good. Cool. Well, I'll just go over here then and like stay out of your way, and no big deal. I'm just gonna go. We're good. I will sidle away.
You
Totally
do
natural.
so. They go back to like sweeping and otherwise doing sort of menial tasks.
I'm very good at this.
There's a few people sparring who kind of like stop to like stare and go,
I give him a big old wave and like little finger guns. Not here. I'm not here. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Fetid, you notice that one of the people here, one of the dwarves here, in fact, who's busily sharpening axes, is Butch.
Oh. Butch got a job.
Butch, the dwarf barbarian.
Go say hi. Hey, bud. What's up?
Oh, hi. How are you doing? It's good to see you around here. I usually only see you in the sewers because Quaggle stuff.
Yeah, no, we're topside, and my friend is being weirdly distracted, and I'm not sure I understand why. But anyway, what's going on?
Oh, well, there's going to be a big fight tomorrow. Some kind of outsiders coming in and doing a big thing. A lot of money, a lot of promo going into it. It's pretty big, pretty important. So I just, I'm gonna do what I can to help out around here. It's kind of busy.
Right.
What are you up to?
Refresh my memory again.
You guys are well, from your perspective.
Yeah.
You came here to see about finding information about the Raven cult.
Right. Yeah.
But Oogna clearly has other things
No.
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have forgotten why we're here. I've wandered off. I'm like peering around a corner and like messing with my hair, trying to look at myself in a shield. I am 100% distracted.
Yeah, basically everybody was going to their various contacts.
Yeah.
Copernicus and Tromlin went to the Thieves Guild. Morgan is talking to her cult. And you guys were coming to the fighting pits, and then you were also going to check in with the Quaggles.
All right.
Hey, Butch is here.
Yeah, one of the Quaggles is here. Maybe
Convenient.
not the one that you would go to for information first, but
He's definitely the Oogna of Quaggles.
Well, might as well start here. I'm going to ask him if he's heard anything about the Raven cult, has any useful information that we might want to know, or even if he knows somebody who we could talk to who might know about that sort of thing.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of that kind of stuff around lately. A lot of people asking questions. I guess I'm not a religious man, so I'm not so into these worshiping fairy lords, whether they're birds or otherwise. It's just not my thing.
These people.
But I've heard if a bunch of the new weasel folk, they got their little crow necklace things. Sometimes that new guy from Stormhill. There's a bunch of them, but the little frog one. There's a little frog guy. He's got some kind of tattoo or brand or something like that.
Oh, okay.
He likes birds.
Okay.
I would
for
talk
food?
to him. No, it's like I guess it's a religious thing. I don't know.
Okay.
They do some kind of, I don't know. There's incense. People like incense.
People do like incense. I tried eating some once. It was okay, but I've had better. I don't really get what all
I think
the hype is about.
you're supposed to put it in some kind of box where it's on fire, and then you swing it all over the place.
Oh, so it's like a cooking thing? Yeah.
I think it's just for the smell.
That makes no sense whatsoever. That can't possibly be true.
I mean, I don't know.
All right. Well, thank you for the tips. I'm gonna seek out this froggy friend as soon as I figure out how I'm gonna get Oogna to come back to planet Earth.
Where does Froggy hang out?
Yeah.
He's a court. Speaking of a court, so Oogna,
Yeah.
you're heading into the back,
I'll head into the back.
into the barracks.
Yep.
So in the barracks, back from this main area where the sparring yard is, the barracks, of course, lots of rooms and beds and people's gear, big kind of armory attached to it. And there's a number of the local fighters back here. And when you come in, like, the conversation stops and everyone's just staring. And
Good.
you see Basilisk is there.
Cool.
She's, you know, sitting back in a chair. Basically, she was like watching somebody do some kind of kata or weapon practice, and she sees you and glares at you with, actually, roll me an insight and let's see if you.
I'm so good at this.
Yeah.
12. I maybe understand something is happening.
Yeah, actually roll it with disadvantage too.
Ooh, good.
You're pretty
How about 9? How about 9 instead?
9 is your best one. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you. She looks at you intensely.
Yeah.
Like maybe she's.
I
glad to see you.
completely misread this and everybody in the room, and I'm just like, whoa, it's okay, and I'll like hold up Trey's leash. I'm like, he doesn't bite. He's really trained. It's fine. I know he's a little scared. He's just a baby though. He's fine. He's great.
And Fetid, she is
I got a
glaring
19 on that insight roll, by the way.
Yeah, she's glaring at Oogna with undisguised hostility.
Oh no!
Hey,
oh, this date is not gonna go well.
I'm gonna shuffle awkwardly and see if I can. Yeah, I want to like see if I can side mouth to Oogna, like, something's up here. Like, I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm getting some weird vibes.
It's cool. It's cool. We'll smooth over
Basilisk
it.
will full hiss a little bit. You can see hackles raising
Is
along
that
her.
something mammals normally do when they're horny?
Not usually. Sorry? Hey, I came to say hi. It's been a long time. I know this whole thing kind of got dumped on us by, the whole management thing, but I just want to say, like, really
you have
excited
a lot
to
of
be
nerve
here.
coming here.
Well, what do you mean?
She hisses and spits. You have a lot of nerve coming to my arena and taking all of our glory with your arranged matches.
Well, I mean,
Not a single fighter from Ravenfall is going to be featured in your little stupid
they aren't?
self-aggrandizing.
Hey, whoa, this wasn't any of my idea. We were just gonna, we wanted it to, like, be a big event here, and then, I don't know who started planning it, but, like, if I was at the helm, I would have made sure that you guys were, like, first in here. It's your pit. Like, you don't walk into somebody else's pit and start shit. That's just pit fighting rules.
And here you are.
I got this whole management team situation thing. I don't know what happened. I started getting sponsored, and then I lost track of it, so...
So you're a sellout, too. The other fighters are starting to form, like, a circle around you. Like, just the two of you, just kind of like, they've all backed off.
Listen, though, like, I'm so sorry. I don't want this to be a whole thing, and I know it's your pit, and, like, you're in charge of it, and, like, it's really shitty to have this all dumped on you. And I just wanted to say I'm really sorry.
A likely story. I know you're trying to push me out.
No?
Fetid, roll me a perception check.
Oh boy.
And I'll give you advantage because you've got filth with you.
Alright, that's another 23 then. I'm rolling incredibly high on these.
It is not easy to see because it is under the fighting armor. that she's
Got a
wearing.
tattoo.
But at the side of her neck, above the gorget, you see the edge of what appears to be a raven's wing tattooed on her neck.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay. And this would be the curse thingy that we're trying to figure out, not just like a hey, she's part of the cult.
From what you were just hearing from Butch, through the Butch filter,
Yeah.
you would get the impression that, you have seen the Raven cultists' holy symbol,
Yeah.
because that's what the sorcerers you guys fought way back in the Northlands had on them. It is the same wing shape.
Okay.
And from what you heard from Butch, you would put getting the tattoo is probably a bunch of steps above just
having a symbol.
casual worship.
Okay.
That's bad.
You don't know enough about magic to know if that's like somebody would force that on someone and be a curse.
Right.
Oogna seems to like this person, so maybe it's an involuntary thing. You're not sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what to make of this situation.
Where's PR when you need them?
I know. Meanwhile, Oogna's like still trying to stammer out an apology and is all like, I'm so sorry. Like, this is such a mess, and I really didn't mean this to come down on you, Basilisk. Like, you of all people, you're one of my favorite pit fighters out there, and like, I wouldn't want to have any bad blood between us. Like, I just always, and then I like blush a little bit. I'm like, I really respect you as a fighter, and I really like you.
Maybe we should just go and get out of here before this gets any weirder.
Before anyone brings out a ukulele.
Yeah, or a sword.
Is my confession making any difference to Basilisk? Because she's just glaring daggers at me.
No, it's making her madder. She snaps at you.
Great.
Good.
It's like, I know what you're trying to do. You and the Dragonborn and the Felicians, you're all of you big fighters. You're trying to take over. You're trying to take over the whole north. I will not be pushed out of this sport in my own city.
The Felicians don't want the north. It's really far. You're like from the south, and like, I don't know, is the Dragonborn coming? I thought they were all at war with everybody. Like, this was supposed to be like a north versus south thing, and then all of the north people would kick the south guys' butts, and then it would be great for the north. Or I think that's what they said anyway, my promo team? I don't know. I'm real fuzzy on a lot of the details. All I know is I gotta fight.
She's just hissing at you again, and she's just like...
It's like poking me? Is she like...
she's marched right up to you, and she's like staring straight up.
Good. And I'm retreating. Like, every time she pokes me, I'll like take a step back and like try to placate her, but I'm not good at this.
She's like...
She's got me I'm up against the wall now. I hit the wall, I got my arms up, and she's like poking at me.
And she is going to do a magic thing.
Oh no.
Yeah. I'm just double checking what kind of a wisdom saving throw needs to occur.
Oh, I'm great at these. These are my best. 10. With no bonus for a 10.
That's not great. That's not great. So she, Fetid, you'll notice because of your crazy perception rolls, that she is clutching something in her hand as she's like poking and snarling and spitting at Oogna, and like just generally going on like, how dare you, and this is my house, and I if I could stop this match, I would, and I worked hard to get where I am in this sport. None of you You people don't have to work hard.
Look,
And-
I've never been sizist. I always want to support the smaller fighters. I think it's great what you do here. I love the Yuri.
And she jabs one more time in the chest, and her finger glows.
Can she reach my
and
chest?
Oogna, you have been cursed.
Oh, good. Oh, great.
You have disadvantage on all strength-based
Ooh.
checks and saving throws.
No. Oh no.
Well, the good news is I can cast Remove Curse.
That's good news. That's real good news.
I can also bestow one.
Just boomerang that shit.
But also you don't know that.
I don't know it. No, I don't know.
She just poked you. Fetid noticed the clutching and the magic glow on the finger, but Oogna has noticed that thing.
I'm gonna think it's
And
just the side effect of a
yeah,
broken heart.
It's definitely time for us to get going if I'm seeing magic stuff happening that
Yeah.
we don't notice and blah blah blah. Yeah.
I imagine Trey is like hissing a little bit back because somebody's
Yes,
poking at his person.
yes.
He gives
He's
a little
kinda
angry
cowering
owlbear
behind you a
squawk.
bit too, because
Yeah.
there's so much yelling.
And I
And
will
she's gonna-
continue to try and stammer out apologies that I'm sure
Get
Basilisk
out
is
of
not
here.
listening to until like,
Get
oh,
out of my
I'm s-
face!
okay,
I don't wanna
I'm so sorry.
see you ever again. Get out!
And then I will like stare at her aghast and then with tears in my eyes just turn and flee.
Maybe this is working out for the best.
And I can reveal.
Maybe an anti-wingman is exactly what we needed.
I can reveal that there was a poll related to a source of problems for this game,
Ooh.
and
so y'all
Basilisk
decide,
was
the viewers
chosen.
decide
Now we know
which
who's
part.
to blame.
Good, excellent, good.
Basilisk was chosen in a hotly contested fight over 3 options, and I will not reveal the others because I don't want you to know what else.
Honestly, this is better than Tromlin's family.
Yeah, that's
I'll
probably
take
Tomlin's
this.
family was not one of the options.
Ooh. All right. Yeah, so Oogna was gonna flee out of the pit with her heart broken and go
Great.
just wandering the city.
Yeah.
Okay, Robin's gonna have a new murder subject.
Let's leave it there.
So Fetid, you're going after Oogna, I take it?
Yeah, I don't get all of what I saw back there, but what I did understand seemed
Wasn't good.
strange and concerning. So I want to keep an eye on her until we can meet up with everybody else and discuss next steps, because that was weird.
And I will then move the camera to Tromlin and Copernicus.
By the way,
to-
guys, I'm posting a thing I just drew in
Ooh.
the chat.
I will.
It's more work related than a stream related, but I thought you guys might enjoy it.
Oh, that's very good.
It's very perny.
I love that. I'm gonna grab that at break if you don't mind showing it off.
Oh, actually, I'm using that for. Actually, you go and show it. Yeah, if you want to. I'm gonna be using it for Gen Con. So.
Oh,
go ahead and show
nice.
it.
Cool.
Yeah, go ahead and show it to everybody.
Okay. I want to see this too.
It's really
In
good.
general.
Yeah.
Yay. Excellent. Homage to Perny. So Tromlin and Copernicus, you had snuck your way back out of the Thieves Guild. Well, Tromlin just left, and Copernicus had to take quite a bit of time to sneak out, but managed to do so. So the two of you can rendezvous.
At a certain point, I start getting nervous. Like, okay, where is he?
Grandpa, you're muted again.
Say Perny would definitely consider doing the message from the book, but then pulling the book out in the middle of this place where he's trying not to draw attention might be a bad idea.
Yeah,
So
might
maybe
be.
not. Yeah, he might actually have gone silent for like a full hour, which like
Ooh.
Perny texts a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that probably made Tromlin more nervous than anything.
But I think
Did
after an
you-
hour, when he finally sneaks out, he does the sends a little message being like, I was just delayed, trying to sneak out past the bouncer. But all's well.
So you have a bit of time after you sneak out of there before you are supposed to meet the elemental at the other bar. Is there anything else you want to do leading up to that? Although waiting for Copernicus killed an hour of it already, but
I mean, if I have any contacts in the area,
I mean primarily through the guild, which is why you came here in the first place, to this place.
I would like to see if I can figure out if the guild is working with my family or if they're just scoping the house out.
Well, hopefully that's what you can find out from the elemental.
Okay, gotcha.
So if you want, we can just jump to that.
Yeah, I'll renew the death ward on Tromlin, which again Perny is every few hours recasting.
Just in case of assassins.
I guess I would probably just see if I can gather any information in general, like, are there any good rumors going around town, like, local gossip what's the hot gossip of the day?
So the big hot gossip today is the upcoming fight, because so much promo has been done that there are a number of important visitors and guests coming to the city. Nobles from Port Evermere and Karsh and Aldercove are coming to the city. There's a lot of the local Felician merchants are going to be, or local by which I mean in the north, are supposed to be coming to the city, since there will be so much opportunity to make money, obviously. Some of the rumors you hear are sort of saying, wow, this is like a real slap in the face to the local fighters, because whoever's promoting this, they're specifically building up the one fight. And while there is openings for some other fight card stuff leading up to it, as there usually is for a big event like this, none of those opening fight cards involve Basilisk, the local champion.
Okay, that's
They're
bad.
all other visiting people that are coming with some of these other nobles from various places. So there's supposedly some orc pit fighters from Port Evermere, for example, coming up, and a couple of the champions from Karsh. So yeah, it's kind of like people are sort of like, ooh, maybe Basilisk is on the outs with the local promoters.
Okay.
There hasn't
And-
been a big match in the north since the one against the Dwarven champion. And as everyone knows, that particular...
Yeah.
Sorry? Dwayne.
Dwayne the Rock.
Thunderfist. Yeah, Dwayne Thunderfist.
Yeah.
And that fight between Dwayne Thunderfist and
Basilisk.
was, ended up not being a proper fight because of these mimics that were brought in. And so the rumor is that this is basically now looking badly on the promotional people and stuff that are basically like the managers of Basilisk, and that's probably why Basilisk is getting not downgraded, but being like kept out of this current set of fights. That's what the rumors say. Whether that's true or not,
Now remind me, did we arrange the fights?
this new fight that's coming up, is sort of, because basically Morgan sent word to get her people in the city to start pushing for this fight to happen. But a lot of the promo, who knows, like you were all on a boat, right? So whatever the actual promo decisions were made, they were made locally, right? All you did was send a sending stone with an animal messenger to Morgan's contacts in Ravenfall, and Morgan told them to set up this fight.
Great.
Oops.
Okay.
So you
it's
kind of
not
left
Morgan's
it to
fault.
the locals. Yeah, you.
It's no one's fault. We weren't probably specific enough what we wanted. It sounds like the people involved didn't think, because they're probably not used to setting up fights.
But it also does make sense to you that if there was some kind of massive issue in the previous fight, it would be something that people are very aware of trying not to have occur again.
Tromblin, do you think we could... I want to be careful with both Oogna's heart and her body, but could we use this? People love a grudge match, and if the grudge is real and it's the talk of the town already, and all of a sudden there's going to be a secondary fight of Oogna versus Basilisk, the people would be desperate to see it.
That's what I'm thinking, but all right. I'm trying not to use out of character knowledge. Sorry. Now, has Tromlin's been around a lot of fighters because of Oogna, correct?
Yep.
So he also understands that tough people have fragile egos.
Yep.
My concern, Ernie, is more that how Basilisk and the others are going to react if they're being excluded. If they felt they were intentionally excluded, they may go harder or even go after them outside the ring, per se.
If we
If
give them a
can go
chance to go after us inside the ring, it could honestly be safer.
Yes. So what I'm thinking is, if we can go to them and make it seem like, oh, sorry, we just get a chance to get to you about your booking, where it's actually going to be presented as they're the baby faces who are then invading the ring and saying, no, we're fighting these matches.
So we ahead of time, we script them rushing the field and taking over the matches, and to everyone else it's an upset, but we have this planned from the beginning to use the grudge story.
Yeah, we just go to the fighters and say, oh, we're sorry, this wasn't, they didn't get this to you. You guys were meant to be the surprise, because you're the hometown heroes.
I think this could go over very well. There's a chance it could backfire in a way that will be equally good if it goes well. So
yes,
this has the Copernicus Sunshine stamp of let's see what happens.
What could possibly go wrong?
Perny,
everything
always
fucking
got good
wrong,
plans.
So after all this conversation, it's getting close to the appointed hour for you to meet with. I'm just finding the right tab. Too many tabs open now. To meet with Eurus Gale at the Skinned Rat. So the Skinned Rat is a dive bar, pub, tavern down in the lower part of the city near the docks. And obviously a kind of place where random sailors and stuff tend to hang out. And you head down there and you go in and you get a table to sit at. There's no sign of Eurus yet. But fairly quickly after you get in there, a probably about 8 to 9 year old kid, wearing like a beat up top hat and like beat up tailcoat, and otherwise just looking, he's got like a big label across his chest that says Dickensian, whatever. And he sidles up to your table and tips his hat a little bit and says, "Do you need any matches, sir? Any matches?" He opens his coat. He's got like a bunch of stuff in little pouches to sell. And as he's saying that, he is, and holding his coat up to hide it, he is signing to you in Thieves' Cant to say, a man wants to meet you in the room by the stables. Make sure you're not followed.
I will buy and tip for a box of matches.
Perfect. He sells you a box of matches, takes your coin, bites it to check, sticks it in his pouch, tips his head again, and scuttles off into the mists of the 19th century. Picks some pockets on the way.
Oh,
sings a little song.
what matches?
Goes, "Ooh, got to pick a pocket or two," as he runs off. Anyway.
Can I
May I have some more?
Can I
Yep.
cast a little detect thoughts, and just like the surface level on the kid, and
Yep.
I kind of want to move it around the room a little bit, just so that as we're going, if I get any thoughts of like there they go or whatever, anything of interest, I would like.
You got to cast it on a specific target, so just on him.
I think you can move it around though. Once it's cast, it's
We'll just
concentrated,
check.
I think you can switch targets.
Maybe I am wrong. That often happens. Just says, oh, yeah. On certain creatures. So when you cast it and on your action each turn, you can focus your mind on any one creature you can see within 30 feet. So yeah.
So I'll do it on him. I'll do a little room sweep as we're going. Just to see if I can
Oh, he doesn't even get a saving throw for surface thoughts.
Yeah.
I think Grampy's mind ray.
Frankly, for him, it's just straight up like, that was easy money. Yeah, you get the impression he knows nothing and was just like paid by someone to come and deliver that message.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well then, as we're making our way out to the stables, I'll just move it around. If I see anyone like watching us or paying attention to us, I just want to get like a little sense of what's going on in their head.
Roll me a perception. Or investigation, whichever you're better at.
Investigation.
You're doing this
I would
deliberately.
also like
So.
to roll a perception to make sure we're not being tailed.
Yep. Good choice.
21.
21 perception. You are indeed
Or
being watched.
investigation.
Investigation. Sorry. Same difference though. You are indeed being watched from two different angles. There's a guy sitting at the bar in a boat cloak with his hood up, who is just kind of like really in his cups. But you note that he in fact has a funky hood that you've never seen the like of before. Tromlin, though, you would know what this is. But it's basically a hood that's built to fall as though the head is bowed, even when the head is upright. And it has a fabric that you can see through. And so basically the guy is like looking right at you while it looks like he's hunched forward, staring down into his cup. And instead his head is actually turned towards you, and the hood shape is kept by like slats of wood inside of it to hold it in that shape. It's a spy's hood.
Smart. I rolled a 22.
Ooh.
You also notice the guy with the spy's hood, and you know what it is. But in any case, Copernicus, you note that he is actually staring directly at you guys as you're leaving, like he's watching you. But you also noticed, Copernicus, with your investigation, that there's a man who appears to be staff standing in a far dark corner against one wall, casually like cleaning things with a rag, but as he's doing so, he's just leaning against the wall and looking more or less in your direction. When he notices you looking at him, he looks away.
Okay. I'll also look away, but I'm gonna like try not to be obvious that I clocked either of them. But I'm gonna drop my tech thoughts in each of them as we're exiting here.
So surface thoughts on the guy in the spy's hood is just going to get like kind of what he's seeing. Like he's clearly just like taking mental notes. So it's just sort of like your description, so forth. You'll need to probe deeper if you want to get anything more. The other guy, you get kind of like a shit when he sees you looking at him and looks away.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I'll assume that Cromlin has noted them too. I don't think anyone's like thinking so specifically about hurting us or like got a report back right now that this is like a live situation. It's just
The guy who shits will immediately kind of turn and go into the back. But like again, all you got from the just surface thoughts wasn't like I better go get backup. It was like, shit, I've been seen turning like, oh, here I am going about my business. I am working here clearly and not spying on anyone. Why would I be doing that?
Okay.
Do you want to delve any deeper on either of them?
No, I think they find out if I do that, and
They don't unless they make the saving throw, I think.
That sounds like a DM trying to tempt you. I don't
If you
trust
probe
it.
deeper, I'm just checking. If you probe deeper, the target makes a wisdom saving throw. If it fails, you gain
either way,
insight.
the target knows you are probing it.
Oh, either way, the target knows you're probing its mind. Okay, never mind.
So,
I thought it
think
only
I'm
got
gonna-
to roll for it.
Yeah, I think I don't want to risk drawing more attention.
Yep.
So I'll leave it there and follow that. I'm assuming that Tromlin
As-
blocked these.
Yeah, as far as you can tell right now, the guy with the boat cloak has not noticed that you have noticed him.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to assume that they watch most people who come in, and that this is not particularly notable that they were giving notes on us for now. But I'm going to assume Tromlin's noticed, and we can compare notes later. But I think we're safe.
Actually, roll me a d20,
Who?
Copernicus.
Natural 4.
Okay, never mind. Okay, so you guys head out and go around to the back end of the building by the stables.
Well, actually, is it possible we take like a long way around?
Yeah, like you can get to the stables from either end of the building, so
I
you
just
can
want to be
kind of.
able to like go like
Yeah.
if I had to go down the alleyway, see if someone's following me.
Yeah, why don't you? So first of all, as you are leaving the place and going out and kind of like wandering around the area to just sort of case out the building and where is this room by the stables and so on, you made a roll specifically to look for tails, and in fact, you will notice that there is someone who appears to be following your movements through the crowd. So that when you go around the building and kind of double back to go the other way, you see this one person kind of do the same circuit, which is not a normal thing to do.
Can I try to stealth and hide and wait for them to pass me?
Yes, you certainly can.
Do some rogue shit.
Are you letting Copernicus know that you're doing this?
Yes, I will mutter to him like I'm gonna hide. You keep walking.
I'll try and walk normal.
That's not a wasted 20. That's for fucking sure.
Ooh.
Nice. I'm assuming you rolled
29.
that with. I assume you rolled that with your advantage.
Oh no, I didn't.
Well, it doesn't matter because you can't roll better than a 20.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Surely a double 20 is worth something. That would be a waste.
Yeah, you melt into the shadows, and double around the sort of the alleyway. This guy's not following you so closely that you'll pass right where you were. He's actually very skilled, but because you roll a 20, you can position yourself wherever you want. You basically can intercept him.
Basically, want to be able to get behind him and sack him.
Yep, you sure can.
Man,
Go ahead and make that attack roll.
you've been roguing hard
It's
this
not
entire
me.
storyline.
I don't rogue very often, but I'm
Nope.
roguing like no one's business
Good.
now.
You're gonna get a
Um,
surprise advantage on this roll as well,
Okay, so hold on. The first one is a 22.
which will hit. But roll the other one in case it's a nat 20.
It was not a 20. Sadly, it would
It's okay.
be a 14.
Okay. So I will roll his con save, DC 14. That's a 7, and he does not have a +7. So he will not make that DC.
I don't have a
So you
+7.
step out from the shadows, grab a hold of his shoulder, and bring the other hand across the back of his head with the sap. He is stunned for 1 minute. And can do nothing, and you're kind of holding him up with your other hand. And you did that, I'm presuming, at like the mouth of an alley or somewhere where you can easily pull him out of sight.
That was the plan.
Okay. Yeah, you have him stunned in an alleyway.
First thing I'm gonna do is tie him up. Then I'm searching him.
Yep.
Shavari,
you
that
tie it-
bastard.
You tie him at the wrists, you put like a gag in his mouth, all the things that you usually do to someone you have recently sapped that isn't your grandfather.
I'm also searching him for like any symbols of the Raven cult.
He does not have any symbols of the Raven cult, but he does have some gear on him that makes you think he is definitely in the Thieves Guild. He's got a knife that has been weapon blacked. He has soft leather shoes, which is not super unusual, but it's the kind of thing that one wears when one is trying to sneak because it's very good for that. He has a second knife that's been weapon blacked on a string up his sleeve that he can pull out with one hand. Various things that he's got some thieves' tools in a leather wrap inside of his tunic. He's got a thieves' purse, the kind that's like on a neck thing that's down underneath the tunic so it can't easily be stolen. Yeah, no real identifying
Basically, the
markings
guild
or
sent
anything,
someone
but
to spy on the other guild member.
yeah.
Well, I'm taking his toys away, first off.
Sure.
And I'm going to... let's see. Do I have any oil on me? Oh, yeah.
I think so.
I'll give you a
Sure.
jug.
I'm going to oil the bottom of his shoes so he can't get traction. So when he finally is able to get free, he's going to have a hard time.
Probably not going to be super effective with the soft leather because it's going to sink in.
Oh, good point. I'll
you
take
need
his,
like a
I'll
grease.
just take his shoes. Take his shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck that.
There you go.
And,
Yeah, now it's real hard for him to like run away or whatever because like, he'll get traction, but he will be going ow 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 as he runs around in like these broken cobblestones down by the docks.
Oh, I'm gonna make it worse. I'm taking that bottle of oil and smashing it around him so he's surrounded by glass and oil.
Lovely.
Ooh.
Sounds good.
Then I'm going to my meeting.
Chomlin Gumpy.
Just leave him here.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. I mean, he's tied up, so like he'll
Yeah.
have to get out of that too.
Yep, yeah, but I'm taking
Great.
all his nice stuff from him.
Yep, and his shoes and smashing some glass around him and going, here, when you finally
Trom-
figure your way out of those ropes, you
Tromlin's
can
getting a little irritated.
walk in broken
I
glass.
think things are finally beginning to wear on him a little bit.
I think
I love that he's
almost
just,
being
like,
assassinated
humiliating-
twice.
He's humiliating all of the henchmen sent by his enemies. Like, the
Yes.
assassins, he caught them with their pants down and left them in a compromising position. Leaving glass and oil. Like, this is very good, petty. Like, none of you can touch me. I'm not
Yes.
even worried about sending back corpses because...
Do not fuck with me.
I am tired. I've had a hard year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is Copernicus aware of this going on in the alley, or like?
So Copernicus was told that he was going to go do a thing, and so he's just providing cover by pretending to be an old man walking.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if Tromlin wants to let Copernicus know,
Well, Tromlin's not gonna hide this from him. Tromlin doesn't like keeping secrets.
because you're still got your detect thoughts up.
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
I will let him. Yeah, no. I will even
Because
be
it lasts for a minute, hasn't been a minute yet.
I'm not trying to hide my thoughts from him or anything like that. Like,
No, I meant the guy that you just knocked.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You're just stunned. Like he's not unconscious. He's just stunned.
well, have fun, Copernicus, if you wanna figure out his thoughts.
If I don't think I'm being watched, then I'll like Copernicus is trying to do the like casual stroll. We're doing casual stroll. Casual stroll 180s back to get a view of the alley and just like so he can see the target. And then just 180s again after he gets some thoughts. So
I thought I left my keys back there.
Yeah. Oh, left
Oh,
the oven
goodness.
on.
In this alleyway.
Wait, I don't have an oven.
Pebble looks at it. Oh,
Yeah.
puts it in his
Nice.
pocket.
Yeah. That's a good rock. But yeah, I'll drop a detect thoughts on him. And I'll probe. Let's probe.
Yeah, I mean, so the surface thoughts are all kind of like, oh shit. But I'll roll his save for the probe.
And ow.
I'm pretty sure 11 isn't going to cut it.
My spell save.
Oh yeah, it's your spell save DC. Yeah. That definitely won't cut it because your spell save DC just went up.
17.
Because I'm a
It's-
rod.
Yeah, with your fat rod, you've got a spell save DC of 17.
Fear my rod.
It's never gonna get full.
Nope.
For
We're
me,
all
anyways.
8-year-olds.
At least with lesbians, like, that's a real sign it's over when, like, the rod's been passed on, you know, it no longer lives at home. They take the make them take the rod back with them.
Oh,
Time to get a new
tragic.
rod.
Yep.
So what do you want? So you're deeply probing with your
Yeah.
rod.
I'm gonna probe him with my rod, and I'm gonna
No, you're
yeah,
gonna probe. You're gonna probe deeply with your rod.
I want to know who his like who's he sent to follow. Is he interested in us or the people we're meeting with? Who sent him? Is he
Here,
attached
there's a
to Red Bull?
specific list. I'll give you the list. You gain insight into their reasoning for what they're doing, if any, emotional state, something that looms large in their mind, as in like a thing that they are worried about, love, hate, etc.
I think they're reasoning because I want to know why they're here and what they were doing, why they're following us.
Okay. So ordered by a superior in the guild. That superior, I'm just looking for, I have a master name list that I can draw random names from, but I have too many folders.
Too many folders. The Dungeon Master story.
Yep. Where the hell is the dang master name list? There it is. It was under adventure notes, not campaign notes. My mistake.
Fool.
So he was sent here by a superior in the guild, whose name is who is a dwarf named. Here we go. Named Garwinberger. Garwinberger is a dwarven thief who is important in the guild and who sent him on this mission. He did so very recently when he summoned him to the pub that you guys were just at previously. Which means that this Garwin fellow must have been there when you and Tromlin were there.
Okay. And
Actually, you can get like an image, and you can like see what Garwin looks like, and he is in fact the one-eyed dwarf who was sitting at the bar near you when you were hiding. And I know I told you that you recognized some Raven cult symbols on some of the thieves at that bar. So I think I'm just going to come out and say Garwin was in fact bearing a symbol of the Raven cult.
and can I also push a little deeper on things looming large in his mind right now, or have I picked the one thing and I can't? Or is it anything, or what is that?
He gets another saving throw for each thing you dig for.
Okay.
So I'll roll again. I rolled worse. He, the biggest thing looming in his mind right now is shit. I fucked it up.
Yeah, you did.
Like
Mhm.
he. This is the worst case scenario. He's aware that you're probing his mind now because that's how the spell works.
Yep.
So not only did his target spot him, his target knocked
Disabled
him out
him.
with like hit it, like caught him, tied him up. He's in a back alley, and some like old guy in the shadows is like reading his fucking mind. Like
Well,
he's
a bad
the
day.
biggest thing looming in his mind right
Oof.
now is, oh boy, did I fuck up this one. I'm gonna have to like flee town. I messed up this assignment so bad. I was literally just paid to spy on and report on what Tromlin did from when he left the bar. I've been following you guys, or Tromlin, because you were invisible. But I've been following Tromlin since he left the bar, and now I'm fucking for it. Like, oh shit.
Bernie's gonna. I mean, he already knows the emotional state, but he wants to do a hat trick. He's got 2 for 3, so he's gonna go up to. He's gonna actually now walk into the alley to the edge with him, avoid the broken glass and the oil. Like lean down and just be like, "And how are you doing? Really? How you doing, buddy?"
He made his saving throw.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that ends the effect on
That
him.
does end. I think that does.
Yeah, the spell ends, but you can read the fear in his eyes. Like, you don't need to see his emotional state with the spell to know that it's not great.
I've been around a long.
And he
time.
whimpers around his gag.
I've been around a long time. Let me give you a little piece of advice. You didn't mess this up at all, and your superiors don't know that. Here's what happened. I think that you saw Tromlin and a kind old man walk into the stables, and take a meeting, and just nothing of note was discussed. Would that make your life so simple and mine?
He
You didn't
doesn't
tell
know
where
that you were
going?
going to the stables.
Ooh.
Oh, how far away from the stables are we?
So he was no. So you just went. All you've done so far since you got the word from the kid was circle the building looking for where's this room that you're supposed to go to. So all he knows is that you went to the skinned rat,
Yeah.
and left again.
And now you're up for a walk.
And we're walking around, and then he lost sight of Tromlin, and then Tromlin nabbed him.
And then it all went wrong.
So you could just say that he saw you come to the skinned rat, and that's it, and then leave again.
Okay. Or we show distrust in the ranks, and you saw us meet with a member of the Raven Cult who's been feeding us information. I think you'll get a really big reward if you can pass on a really juicy bit of information like that, don't you? Nod if you think so. And trust me, you want to nod. Yeah, that's very wise. Like I said, I've been around a long time, and I'm sure you will too. And I'll give him a little pat in the cheek.
Roll me a persuasion.
Persuasion or intimidation?
Intimidation.
Either one, but you're better.
I'm
at
terrified.
persuasion.
I think it should be intimidation, even though I'm not as good at it.
Roll intimidation with advantage.
Mm,
I'll take that. Thank you.
for circumstances.
Yeah.
Well,
2
also,
and a
I'm sure
4.
like his grandson just knocking
2 and a
his
4
shins.
plus 4 is an 8.
8 is your
I
best roll.
became too comforting. I was too comforting. I was trying to be creepy,
Do I see
but
this going on, by the way?
I'm not hiding.
Yeah, you're right there. Yeah.
Can I attempt to intimidate when I see it's
Good
not
cop,
working?
bad
yes.
cop.
You can
You
like,
can do
like
this.
look over his shoulder as he's saying, "Don't you think
Tag him
so?" And you
in.
can like look over his shoulder with like a wild look in your eyes and like lick the knife you stole from him.
Do I get can I get advantage?
Yeah. I'll give you advantage from Copernicus's help.
I like, yeah. He was trying to be creepy, but like his hands are so soft that the little cheek pat was actually like really comforting for someone who
Oh,
like right now
yeah.
is
Oh,
so
yeah.
overwhelmed and it
Yeah.
gives him a little bit of warmth to focus on.
My rolls were a 20 dirty and a 21.
Nice. So the 17,
That'll do.
21 is the good one. Oh, well, they're both good, but yeah, he's whimpering and nodding. And then you go on and leave him there. I mean, unless you want to change
Ruin
that.
this guy's day.
No, he can figure his shit out. This
Yeah,
is part,
yeah.
Look,
That's good.
every
Mhm.
rogue when they start out has had an embarrassing moment like this. I'm
Yeah.
sure Tromlin got fucked up more than once and had to figure out how to take care of it.
I'm gonna.
So now you can.
But I will give him his wallet back.
So now you guys can stealth down to ensure you're not being followed to the room you now know where it is next to the stables, and have your meeting. I'll get you both to roll me your stealth rolls, and then we will go on break and pick up after the break with your chat with
Just a little chat.
air
Just a chat.
elemental thief.
By the way, I'm posting something in our main chat that you cannot post on Twitch because we'll lose our channel.
No.
But it's
Oh, I gotta see this now.
Decided to stick around the cult.
So, audience, if you want to check that out, you're going to have to join the Discord because that's where we're going to post it. So I recommend that if anybody's got a Discord link, go ahead and post that
I'll
in the
post it
chat.
into the Discord too. Let me.
Yeah, I'm going to grab.
We
the
do
Discord
have a
link.
not safe for work channel.
It's a flump that looks like it has been stroking its shotgun.
Sex.
He's got one more tentacle, is all we're saying.
How do you spell flump?
Alright.
I forgot.
FLUMFPH. Yeah, I know there's a P in there somewhere.
All right, let me go ahead.
Alina,
and
I also shared.
I have posted a link to the Discord for those who wish to have their brains.
I've also shared one of my favorite buddy thirst traps, which is very much the vibes of this intimidation roll in the
Good.
chat.
Good.
Alina has had me send this to them like probably at least 3
Oh, it's
times.
that
Every
one.
time I
Ooh.
see it- yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let me
I like
get
that
that stealth roll.
Oh yeah, sorry. I just
Tromlin-
have to enter
Tromlin
my
with
birthday
advantage.
because apparently I've never done it for this.
No worries.
Not safe for work fan art.
Copernicus can also roll with advantage because Tromlin can give you the
Oh, thank
His-
goodness. I
his
rolled
bonus.
a 4 on the die.
Did I ever post that sexy Morgan?
I rolled posted in fan art, not safe for work.
Yeah.
So that's a 21.
24.
Does
I'm
that
gonna
include your bonus with shadows?
Yeah, I rolled a 4 and an 8 with my advantage, but 8
So
plus 13
8
gets me 21.
plus 13.
Yeah.
Kurt 21. And then Tromlin?
24.
Good.
Very
Okay.
nice.
So with that, dear chat, we will take a break. Like about 10 minutes or so. And then we will jump back in for the second part of this very intrigue-filled game.
See you in a few.